must be fine, safe and healthy at your home. Once again, good morning to all, and I hope you all will also say good morning to me. Okay. So, I am Kadambini Nayak, Assistant Teacher, Government High School, Khandagiri, Bhubaneswar, Khordha, and I welcome you all to this online YouTube class 10 English class. So, I hope you all are ready, you all are prepared to, yes, to attend this class. Now, I request all of you bring your book quickly and get set, go. Let us start. Already we have completed 2 classes from this chapter. What is the name of the chapter? What is it? Tell me. It's prepositions. So, prepositions already we have discussed in last 2 classes. So, today I want you to test how much you have really learned from this class. So, get ready with your book. Yes, you can use your book, no doubt, no problem. Try to find out the answers from your book, because I have brought all the questions only. I have the questions only from your book, so that you can answer these questions quickly, easily, confidently and correctly. So, let us see what are the questions. So, before that, let me tell you today what are the things that we are going to discuss. So, today's class is about preposition part 3. Preposition part 1, 2 already we did it, and now it's time to start preposition part 3. And as I have already informed you that in this class I am going to test how much you have learnt in the last 2 classes. So, get ready. Once again, I request you all bring your book, open it, read it, try to find out the answers and then tell me the answers. No problem if you are using the book, because it is not your final test. So, I request you all, yes, here are the questions. Fill in the blanks in the following sentences using the appropriate prepositions. Let me tell you once again, we have already discussed preposition in last 2 classes. So, I hope you must have remembered what are the things that we discussed, what are the rules, where to use at, where to use in and where to use on. So, let us start. So, candidates have to write their names dash the top of the page. Dash the top of the page. So, when top of the page, bottom of the page, then which preposition you have to use. So, generally in this test I have given the questions, the answers will be at, in or on. Basically in last class we discussed where to use at, on and in. So, what will be the answer here? Quickly tell me. Who can say? Raise your hand. Yes, yes. Who will answer this question first? I am waiting. So, candidates have to write their names dash the top of the page. At, on or in. Yes, you are correct. It is at. Then Mohesh is standing dash the balcony. Mohesh is standing dash the balcony. What will be the answer? Who can say? So, here it is at. Who can say the second one? Mohesh is standing dash the balcony. On. Yes, if you will find your book, then it will be easier for you to answer all the questions, because all the questions I have given from your book only. Next one, he lives dash the village. Lives means what is the answer? Quickly tell me. I live in Bhubaneswar. You can say you live in Godabai, you live in Cuttack, Khordha, Puri. So, he lives in. Haridwar is dash the Gangas. Haridwar is dash the Gangas. Yes, it is. Yes, I am waiting. On. The more you practice, the more perfect you will be, the more your answers will be correct. My mother works dash the public place, public library. It is very specific. Particular place is given. So, use at, on, in. Which one is correct? If the place is particular, use at. If the place is a larger area, a bigger area, use in. And if it is the middle one, not specific, not a bigger, then use on. So, what is it? It is very specific. So, use at. Okay. So next one, another few questions. So let us move and see what are the questions for you here. So again fill in the blanks. Okay, so these are answers for you. If you have already done, then quickly check your answers, what you have written, whether these are correct or not. So next time if you want to see the answers, then you can check it. Next question, he is working dash a farm. I am not going to do it, it is your work. Just write down the answer and next you will check on your own. So he is working dash a farm. 5 questions, quickly write down the answers only in your copy. I request my dear students, please write down the answers only. I am not saying to write all the whole sentence. No, only write down the answer so that you can check it. So he is working dash a farm. She is sitting dash my left. Stand dash a line. There is a notice dash the wall. My friend is standing dash the bus stop. Have you written? Yes, tell me, have you written the answers? If yes, then I will move ahead and I am going to give you the answers and you are going to check your answers on your own. Best of luck. Let us see how much you have secured out of these 5. So here are the answers. So just quickly check how many questions you can answer correctly. So he is working on a farm. When the working place is not a building, use on. Otherwise, in. She is sitting dash my left, on my right. Stand in a line, stand in a queue. There is a notice on the wall, it touches the wall. So it is on. My friend is standing dash the bus stop. Here it is very specific place. So art, we have to use next 5 questions. Get ready quickly. Write down the answers only. I am again requesting you all, only write down the answers and next I will give you the answers and you are going to check it. I like to spend the holidays dash my friend's village. Here friend's village is a larger area. So in, on, at. Yes, in. Then our teacher is sitting dash an armchair. See the difference. He is sitting dash a chair and our teacher is sitting dash an armchair. Armchair, for armchair, specifically it is given in your book which preposition you have to use for armchair and which preposition you have to use for only chair. So write it correctly, then you are going to check it. So he kept the plates dash the cupboard. Plates dash the cupboard. Then he leaves dash an island. This is a different leaves, I said in, but here it indicates in island. Island means if you will stand there and you will find water all around the island. So you have to use a different instead of in. So what is that? Let us check. I hope you all must have written. If yes, then raise your hand. Raise your hand who have completed. Okay, let us see what will be the answers. Oh, how much mark you have secured out of these 5? How many answers you have written correctly? Tell me. So the first one is in my friend's village. Our teacher is sitting in an armchair. Mark the difference. In these 2 sentences, you just mark the difference. In an armchair or on a chair. Then also on an island. Okay, so these are the different things and these questions will come in your exam. So try to remember the answers correctly so that you can answer in your exam properly to get good marks in your examination. So last few questions, last 5 questions. Let us see how many questions you can answer. So my sister lives dash Kalinganagar. Again leaves. I have given many questions based on leaves. Why? Because this is the question generally comes in our exam. So I want you all to be very clear about leaves. Where to use in and where to use on. Only for island use on. In all other places in. So my sister lives Kalinganagar is again a bigger place. So use in. Now these 4 you have to answer. So they met dash the station. Station specific area. So what you have to use, what you will use for specific area, for particular area. So they met dash the station. Mira is standing dash a queue. Already I have said Mira is standing dash a line, dash a queue. The aeroplanes arrive dash time. Then the workers leave home dash daybreak. Daybreak is also a specific time. I have given only one question from time, because in the last class we also discussed where to use in and where to use on and where to use at. So in for season, so for month and for year or week. Then on we use for day and date, and at we use for specific time, at 7 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, or at daybreak, at noon, at midnight. For all these specific time, use at. Now let us see how much you have secured out of these 5. So total, now these are the answers. Check yourself, because no one is there to check your copies. So I hope you will answer, you will take your own answers. 20 questions I have given. Out of 20, how much you have secured? Let me tell you, let me hear from you. I hope you must have secured how much? Because all these questions I have set for you from your textbook only. Most of the times the questions comes from the examples. So examples are very, very important and essential for you all. Now let us proceed some other preposition, that is again prepositions of place, because in the beginning we can group the preposition in 3 categories. Number 1 is prepositions of place, then prepositions of time, and finally all other prepositions. So the first one that we are discussing, we have already discussed at, on, in. From these prepositions of place, now all other prepositions whichever left from these prepositions of place, that today we are going to discuss. So let us start from over and above, the most confusing part of this preposition. So many times many of us they feel confused which one to use, over or above. So what is the difference? So over we use for vertically above or higher than, and above we use for higher than. Generally we use above for comparison. If we compare two things, then we use above. Otherwise horizontally, if vertically something is over our head, then we can use over. As the examples, the aeroplane is over our head, but there is a temple above the house, above the house. Then also over can expresses there is a bridge across the river. It is another use of over. Then over and above also express greater number. Greater number means applicants over or above must not apply. Means here we can use both over and above. And from this picture you will be very much clear. Suppose this is our surface and some object is here, then we use on if it is here, over if it is here, above, and if it is just the here, then it is beneath, and here it is under and below. So you can see and you can mark here which words are related here. So over and, so which are related, you just see. So here over and under, these are the opposite words, and above and below. And this beneath is quite equal to under, but in formal language we use beneath. So these, from this picture, I hope you will be clear what is the difference between these 4 or another added 5. So over, under, above, below and beneath. These are the 5. Very confusing, but you should be very, very clear where to use which preposition. Next, some other prepositions let us discuss. Those are, so here you can see where to use over and where to use above, and from this box and ball, I hope it will be clear. So this one, as it is touching the box, so we can say the ball is on the box. And here it is not touching, so it is above and it is over. So over is somehow higher than, above is somehow higher than over, and above and below, you just see it is the opposite. Below is the opposite of above, and under is just the opposite of over. And next one is beneath. Beneath is just similarly used as under, but beneath is used in formal language. So besides these two, there are some other like besides and in front of. It is very easy for you all. And next one is behind. So let us move ahead. What else is there? So next, as we have already discussed and we have already seen in the picture, so under, below, beneath. First we learned over, above, on, over, above, on, over, above. Then next one is under, below, beneath. On, over, above, under, below, beneath. These are the 6. They are quite related and they are very sometimes confusing. So under position, lower than or less than. The cat is sitting under the table. So you have been using these sentences since your childhood. So I hope there must not be any confusion in using under. So don't be confused under with beneath. So children under 5 years. So it indicates a different meaning. It has a different meaning here. Under, lower than. So here under means under 5 years. 5 are very naughty. Then below means lower than. When the sun sets, it goes below the horizon. So generally when we compare, we use below and beneath. Beneath is directly under something. So the dolphins disappeared beneath the waves. So these are the general uses. I hope you must have got a clear idea about on, over, above, then under, below, beneath. Six prepositions we discussed. Let us move ahead. What others? So from this picture you must be very much clear, not from the sentences, but when you will see the pictures, the idea will be very clear. You just see on, above and over, and here below and under. So from these pictures the concept will be very clear. Next one is through. Through means entering at one side and coming out at the other side. So how it is? Here you can see, suppose we are entering, suppose there is a tunnel or there is a field. We entered from one side, then we came out from another side. So that is through. And next is across. Across means from one side to another. You just see what is the difference. Here is across, means we are going from this side to that side, but through is different. Here we have a tunnel or we have a jungle or a forest or we have some grass field, then we use through. And along, you can see, along means with the road, we are going along the road. So along in a line from one end to the other. So these are again 3 confusing, but be very clear. And the sentences, the same sentences for you comes in your exam. So try to learn and practice, then it will be easier for you all. Trees grow along the bank of the river. Means in the same direction. He walked along the road. So here are some another important and essential prepositions: along, across and over. You mark here how we can use over, in this sentence. So the bridge is over the lake. Here you can see the bridge is over the lake. It is another use of over, through and round and from. These are the 2 differences, from and to. Suppose we are going from a place, so from. And if we are going to place, so to and from, these are also related. Likewise up and down. These are the generally used and most of the times frequently used adjectives, and you must be very much clear about these, where to use along, where to use across, where to use over, where to use through. All these things you should be very clear. Next comes behind. Behind means at the back of something. So what is behind? Behind means at the back of something. Then we say behind. Behind, the boy is hiding himself behind the tree. The boy is standing behind the tree. Then before. Before means just in front of. So the priest stood before the altar. And between and among. What is the difference between and among? Between means if we divide something between 2, then if there are 2 persons, only 2 objects, 2 things, that is between. If there are more than 2, that is among. So let us see in pictures how these things are depicted. So distribute the sweets between Sita and Gita. So 2 persons are here, so you have to use between. But distribute the sweets among the children. Children means the number is more than 2, so we have to use among. So let us see in pictures how these are depicted. So it is in front of, this bird is in front of the box, behind, the bird is behind the box, and between, the bird is between the box, and around the bird is moving around the around a stick, then across means opposite. This is another and very confusing. What is it? Opposite. Opposite means just in front of or facing each other. Opposite means facing each other. You can see another use of through, how it is used. The bird is just going through the hole of this wood or something. Then here next to or beside, just next to or beside, and the example of among. So this blue color bird is sitting among others, among more than two. So among, if here the bird is sitting between the boxes. So between and among, these are also related. So when you will learn these prepositions, you will find some prepositions they are related. So we should understand them taking together, then it will be easier. Then against means next to. So there is a ladder against the wall. And opposite, Rama is sitting opposite Gopal, and in front, you are using it in front of the teacher, is teaching in front of the students, as I am teaching in front of you. So here you can see three people, they are sitting in a bus. So which one you will say in front of and which one you are going to say opposite. Suppose this one is termed as A and this is B and this one is C. You can see A is sitting in front of B. So this lady is sitting in front of this man, and A is sitting opposite C. These two persons, they are sitting, they are facing each other. So we can say that A is sitting opposite C or C is sitting opposite A. But this lady is sitting in front of B. So this is the difference between in front of and opposite. Now next it is also we have discussed. Then some more prepositions of. Of means from the surface. He fell off the horse. He fell off the horse. Out of, from the interior. Out of. When we bring something out of a box. So bring the box out of bring the ball out of the box. The mouse came out of the hole. Sorry, it is hole. H-O-L-E, hole. Hole. Then from, he ran from the place. I have already shown, means we have seen what is the difference between to and from. To and from. Now next, so here is the example using the pictures. So what are they doing? These two persons, they are walking to the cinema. They are walking to the cinema. They want to see cinema. So they are walking to the cinema. And here this lady, what is she doing? She is coming from the office. So this is the difference between to and from. And here you can see the example of. What is he doing? What is this boy doing? You naughty boys, you always do this. So what is he doing? He is jumping off the wall. He is jumping off the wall. So these are the uses of to, from and off. O-F-F, off. Here we are talking about O-F-F, off, not O-F. Off is different, O-F-F, off is different. Next, what is there? So to, towards, for. To, towards, for. So towards means it is a moving position. So the ball is running towards the box. He ran towards a safe place. He threw a ball to the children and he left for home. These are the last uses. Next, few questions I have for you. Hope you must have understood or got some idea. So if you want, you can watch it again and write down the questions, and you can watch the pictures, you can see them. And also most important, you should write all the questions, all the sentences in your copy. Once again, I would like to request all my dear students, make a copy of grammar and write down all the questions, all the sentences that is given in your book. By just giving numbers, just number the sentences and start writing, and underline the prepositions, because most of the times you will get the questions from your own grammar book, maybe from examples or maybe from activities. So don't neglect, do it. Next, my hat fell dash a chair as I was leaving the room. So which preposition you will use here? Now it is your test. As I have said in the beginning, it's your one. You are going to write only the answers in your copy, and then you are going to check whether you have written the answers correctly or not. So I hope you will write it correctly. So let us see. So my hat fell dash a chair as I was leaving the room. So what will be the answer? It's you are going to do it. I am not going to help you. So he has 10 men working dash him. So you have to use the prepositions that we have discussed till now, and they were standing dash the hillside. It is also a specific place. They were walking together dash the beach. For beach, which preposition you are going to use? Then he waited half an hour. He waited half an hour dash the corner of the street. Again, if the question is given based upon corner of the street. So I hope you must have written the answers in your copy. If yes, then let us check whether you have written it correctly or not. Oh, these are the answers for you. Now you check it out and see how many questions you have answered correctly out of these 5. How much you have secured? I hope you will get 5 out of 5. If not, no problem, because here we are learning. It is not your exam, and you are not going to fail in this exam. This is only for your learning purpose. So let us learn it correctly. So my hat fell on a chair as I was leaving the room. Then he has 10 men working under. Under we have discussed how under is also used for edge. Then they were standing dash the hillside, at the hillside, because it indicates a specific place. Then they were walking together dash the beach. For beach we use on. He waited half an hour dash the corner, at the corner of the street. Next 5 questions. Now again get ready and be prepared and answer the questions quickly. Only you have to write the answers in your copy. I am saying to you, hey you are listening to me or not? I am talking to you, listen to me, then only you can secure good marks. So one request, quickly write down the answers. So see, divided the cake. See, divided the cake dash her 5 children. So when the number is more than 2, which one you will use? And when the number is 2, which one you will use? I am talking about prepositions. So I cannot see any difference dash these 2 books. Here 2 books, and she met him dash the front door. Again specific place. I was getting late, so we set off dash home. Then he could not keep himself failing dash the wall. Now your time is over and I am going to show you the answer. So if you have not written, then quickly write down. Just read the questions and write down the answers. I am talking about the answers. Write down the answers only. Then what are you going to do? Tell me. Then you are going to check your answers whether these answers are correct. Oh, let us see whether it is correct or not. Yes, the answers. So divided. See, divided as here more than 2 kids. So we have to use among. And as here 2 books. So it is between. And here the place is specific. So at. And here he is we made off for home. And he could not keep himself failing against the wall. So these are the uses. So how many questions you have answered correctly? Tell me. So if not, this is your practice, and if you will do like this, then no one can defeat you and you can secure good mark. So this is your homework. I hope you will do. First you read the paragraph properly, then you are going to answer these questions, and I hope you will do it easily, because we have already discussed all these prepositions that are appropriate for this paragraph. So this is a paragraph for you, and this is your homework. You will do it and you will show these to your teacher. If you will have any doubt, then you can ask your teacher. But still, read it now. Do you have time or not? Yes, we have time, so let us read it. So Subha and Sima are ready to visit the zoo. Are you all interested to visit zoo? Yes, I am also interested to visit. But the corona is here, so we should not go out much. So Subho and Sima are ready to visit. They leave at 10 o'clock by car. The car stops dash the traffic signal. Dash means it is specific place. A pigeon sits dash the car. Then Subho says, look, it is so cute. A puppy runs dash the road. Puppy runs dash the road, and many birds are flying dash the buildings. They stop dash the gate of the zoo. It is again a specific place, and it is again a comparatively higher place, and quickly they entered into the zoo. Sima says loudly, look at that bear is resting dash the tree. So generally we rest or we take rest dash the tree. Then many monkeys dash the tree, and there are lions dash the zoo. The lion is running dash the cub, and crocodiles are resting dash the lake. They all are tired, so they take rest dash a tree. So write it correctly and try to do all the answers. Oh, I have written the answers for you. So you can pause the video and find out the answers. And a man without education is like a building without a foundation. So if you will be educated, then you will be strong enough to face any difficulty in your life. So with this hope, let us wind up this class here. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day ahead.